See, doesn't it look all beautiful? Look, y'all. Oh, so the topic. So the topic is breakups. Okay. I think breakups are really healthy for you because, like, say for example, you and your significant other are not getting along. You argue a lot. You disagree a lot. Anything you say probably goes out of one ear and out the other ear. Anything he says to you probably go in one ear and out the other. You're just not getting along. So there comes a point where you probably need to separate. And in separation time, that gives you time to like think about like areas that you can improve in of the relationship. Like, for example, avoiding all these freaking arguments that make the both of you break up with each other. You get what I mean? So, as you're in your separation stage, I call it the separation stage, you have time to rest. You have time to rethink things. You have to rethink, like, what did you get in an argument for? Like, what was the purpose? Like, you can also figure out what you did wrong or said wrong or what he said wrong, okay? Either in the separation stage, you're just thinking, okay? While your partner, the one that you broke up with, he's probably like, oh, you know, you were tripping. Because that's how men think. Oh, you're tripping. And
It's always your fault. It's always your
fault. It's always the girl fault. So when if you break up, look, if you break up with your boyfriend, right? He might blame everything on you. Okay? And he might not come out like completely saying like, "Oh, it's your fault we broke up." No. The way he's going to blame you is by his ego being hurt. And when his ego is hurt, he's going to say, oh, you know, I don't care about you anyway. He might call you ugly. He might call you a B word. He might try to say things that like hurt your feelings, okay? Like he'll say those type of things because his ego is hurt. In other words, he's trying to hurt your feelings. So that's why he's saying mean things to you so that you can feel bad and you cannot bite into that, okay? I call that his guilt trip, okay? Because if you separated, that's good, right? That's good because okay, you're in separation and you just need to get away. But in the beginning, like the first day you separate, you probably go hear from him. And okay, when you do hear from him, it's not gonna be nice. Okay? It's gonna be something bad.
He'll probably say something to hurt your feelings.
You the stupid one. I don't care about you. Um, laugh out loud. So you're gonna probably hear all this. Now, okay, when you're at the beginning of the breakup, okay, you didn't heard him come at you with all these mean words, right? Okay, so that's done. You separated. You're in your thinking process. What you did wrong, and you thinking about what he said that hurt your feelings, and then on top of that, he might not even be thinking about the whole thing. He might be living his best life. He's single. He ain't worried about you because he probably thinking that you not worried about him. You know, because normally it's always the female that thinks like, oh, where is he at? Or is he thinking about me? Or but he's probably hanging out with his homeboys, not even thinking about you. He's probably happy. Hate to say it, he's probably happy, okay? But you could be happy too. You like, oh, I'm free, I'm single, I can do whatever I want. I ain't got to worry about, that headache or me being a headache to him, all that, blah blah blah. But anyhow, right? You broken up, okay? Now, will y'all get back together? Only time will tell, okay? Some breakups are temporary. Some breakups like bring people back together, and then some breakups you're broken up like forever. You're not getting back together. Like the other person has moved on with their life. You know what I mean? So either that's you that moved on with your life or the other person, okay? But 9 times out of 10, if the other person come crawling back to you, that means that they haven't moved on with their life, okay? So anytime a man come rolling back to you, it's because he probably ain't moved on with his life, or he just want to hold on. I don't know if he want to marry you, but he just might want to hold on to you just to be holding on to you, right? And then another thing too is your breakup, it might be temporary, you know? It might be just something that you need to grow from. Because take a breakup as a growing process to grow, you know? You grow from your error, you grow from your mistakes, you just grow from this breakup. And you need to grow from it, okay? And that's the best thing to do. Grow, grow, and grow. Okay? Because that's all you can do is just grow from everything that you go through. Okay? Now, a few years ago, I used to have this neighbor. She used to always get into a fight with her boyfriend. Okay? They break up, get back together. I mean, they got back together like a million times, besides breaking up a million times. But anywho, they broke up. And I remember one night, they broke up, they was yelling. I think she threw something at his car. She chased him outside. The police came. And the police told the guy that he needed to leave her house. So the guy left. It was like a bad scene, okay? Like, she threw all his clothes out the house. Like, she had his clothes bagged up. The cops was moving this dude's stuff out of her house, right? So he got bags of clothes. He got his toothbrush. He got his shoes. And the cops, they're like escorting all this stuff out of the house for her. Of his. She's like, it's over. I'm sick of him. I'm done. I'm through. Just, the whole 9, right? And the cops actually felt sorry for him, right? So the dude left, okay? He packed up all of his stuff in the car because his girlfriend kicked him out, right? And the cop, took the report, blah, blah. She was like, nah, I don't press no charges. It's over. I just want him out of my life, blah, blah, blah. There it is, okay? And then, y'all, the next freaking day, her and old boy was back together. After all that drama, after her calling the cops, kicking him out, throwing his stuff out, they arguing, she chasing him. The next day, they back together. He done moved his stuff back up into her house. Can you believe that? Now that is just crazy, right? I guess they're the only couple that break up and get back together, okay? I'm not gonna lie, some people break up and they get back together, because they're crazy about each other. There's just something there, right? So, you also have people that break up and they just broken up. Ain't no coming back. Because there's some people, they're like this. Once they're done with you, they're done with you. There's no coming back. We're not getting back together. There's no hope, okay? And then there's the people, oh, I'll give you a second chance, because I love you, I care about you. And then depending on you, if you still love that person, care about them or something, you'll allow them back into your life. Because obviously, if this person is trying to come back into your life, obviously they care enough about you to come back, right? So, anywho, oh girl, oh boy is back together. And I ran into her daughter, like, at the store, and her daughter was like, oh, my mom, she always break up with her boyfriend, and they get back together. Like, they on and off all the time. Break up, get back together, break up, break up, break up, break up. They like the only people to stay together after a breakup, okay? So it is possible. It is possible if you out there looking for that answer. It depends, okay? It depends on who you're with. Like, if they want to be with you, they'll be with you, okay? But, like, my parents, let me tell you, my parents, they used to fight. Like, my mom, she wanted to beat up my daddy. But, like, my mom would, like, get a drink, and after she drank, she look at my dad and be like, I'm sick of you. You make me sick. I just want to kick you. And she go off on my dad, run him out the house. My dad had to leave for a few hours until my mom like fall asleep or something. Then he'd come back to the house because my mom wanted to kick his butt, okay? I don't know, every time she drank something and she thought about my dad, I don't know what my dad did, but every time my mom would drink, she would want to kick his butt, okay? And then my dad would run, go hide for a little bit, and then my mom would fall asleep, and my dad would come back home, and when he come home, he'll give my mom a hug, and I love you, I miss you. And my mom don't even know what happened, Sometimes she would remember, like, going off on him, and then sometimes she wouldn't remember, you know what I mean? But my dad would always go to the 99 only store and purchase that cheap old wine. And I don't know what it is, but we have a low tolerance for wine, alcohol. Like, I can drink like a half, like from here to here, and I will be drunk, okay? But my mom used to get toe up on that cheap wine, that cheap wine. And when she would drink it, she would go off on my daddy and tell him about himself. Then they break up. Then my auntie calling, what happened? And Lily, you okay? And it was just crazy. Those were the good days. So I remember one particular time when my mom got drunk. She ran my dad off, and my dad went to go stay at my auntie's house. And I remember the next day after, the argument that my mom had with my dad left. She ran him off, right? My mom woke up, and, she's just having a normal day, right? And then, like, 5 hours later, my mom was sitting at the table, and I was like, hey mom, what you doing? You okay? How's your day going? I didn't even bring up the other day, like the argument that she got into it with my dad and ran him off. But anywho, she was like, oh, I'm just sitting here. I thought your dad would come over, maybe he wanna go to the Dollar Tree. Look, she was missing my daddy. She was missing him. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, oh, that's so cute. But I said, mommy, don't you know that you ran daddy off yesterday, like when you had that cheap wine? And she was like, no, I didn't. I said, yes, you did. Like, that wine got you toe up. Next thing I know, you was yelling at him. You told him to get out of Dodge. And next thing I know, daddy was in the car and he was gone. Like, he went to auntie house, okay? And so I got on the phone like 10 minutes later and I was like, hello, dad. What you doing? Are you gonna come by? Mama wanna know if you wanna go, to the dollar store. And he was like, maybe not today, probably tomorrow or something when I get off work. And I told my mom, but it was so cute. My mom, she missed my dad. That was so cute. Like, she went off, she broke up with him. She broke up with him, right? Ran him out the house. He ran to my auntie's. So the next day, my dad didn't even show up. And my mom was just sitting there like, oh, I thought your dad was going to come over. I was like, oh, that's so sweet, mommy. But you ran him off. I guess my dad, he had like got to a point where like, okay, you ran me off, you don't want me around, so I'm not gonna come back, right? But my mommy missed him. I was like, oh, mommy, you miss daddy. So just like y'all out there, if y'all miss your ex, like whoever you broke up with, depending on your relationship, y'all might get back together. Don't cry. Like, he might be missing you or you might be missing him. You know what I mean? So you just never know. Some people, they don't tell you if they miss you. And that's a terrible thing, So you just never know, Sometimes you break up to make up. And sometimes you break up to just be broken up, right? And so another incident happened like when I lived in Los Angeles, California. So Los Angeles, California. So I had a freaking neighbor, right? Her and her relationship with her boyfriend, like it seemed like the most perfect relationship, right? Like they loved each other, they always together, they're always happy, they're always like having barbecues. And I remember one morning I was getting up to go to work. And I got dressed and everything. When I went outside, like the whole LAPD police department was outside in the yard. And I was like, woo, what happened? Then I saw my neighbor and she was like, he got to get up out of here. He can't be up in here. He got to get up out of here, right? And so I look at her lawn and she got all her boyfriend stuff out on the lawn. Like I saw suitcases, I saw bags, I saw shoes, I saw chips, I saw bologna, I saw everything. Even why you kicking me out? That's what I saw, okay? And he was, like, I can't believe her. I can't believe she doing this. Like, literally, that was his face. I can't believe she doing this. She really doing this to me. She kicking me out. Like, that's what he was telling the cops, right? And the cops had, like, a little smirk on their face. But they felt, like, sorry for this dude. And then there was cops like picking up his bags and loading his bags onto the dude's truck so he can leave, right? And it was just a mess. I mean, this man must have had like 20 bags. Like the cops, they were just loading his truck up with all his stuff. I mean, the cops were so nice. They helped the man pack up his stuff and move, up out of her house. And the boyfriend, he just felt so sad. He felt so freaking sad. Like, I can't believe this. I can't believe this. And so me, I wasn't really trying to like be nosy, but I paid attention a little bit, right? So I went on about my day, minding my business, and just working, right? get off work, go home, minding my business. And I guess at that time, she's still broken up with her boyfriend, right? And her house is quiet, and everything. So it's just, okay, she broke up with her boyfriend, house is quiet, they're not together, don't look like they getting back together, right? So the next day I go to work, get off work, see my neighbor, she back with her boyfriend. They back together. He done moved back in. His truck is there. He unloading the truck. He moving his stuff back into her house. They back together, So, can a breakup be horrible? Yes. I've seen horrible breakups, okay? The ones involving the police, okay? The ones where these women kick the men out of their house. So when you think about a woman kicking a man out of her house, you're like, okay, it's over. See, because when a woman gets to that point where she have to bag your stuff up and kick you out, she wants you out of her house. And sometimes a woman might not take a man back after she pack up his stuff and kick him out of her house. Like that, okay? But obviously, him and her, they still loved each other. Or he conned his way back into her life, like, oh, baby, I take you shopping, and do you need groceries? He probably conned his way back into her heart, because that's what some men do. That's what they like to do, con their way back into your heart. Or she could have called him, oh, baby, I miss you. I'm sorry for kicking you out. I'm sorry for having the cops bag up your stuff and put you out of my house. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Baby, I love you. I love you too, baby. Baby, let's just work it out. Yeah, baby, let's just work it out. I care so much about you, baby. Why you do me like that? Baby, why you do me like that? You made me kick you out. You made me kick you out because you drive me crazy. Why you always making me go crazy? And why you always saying stuff to me like that? Because you crazy. You crazy. I'm not crazy. That's the reason why we broke up in the first place. Harry. Don't say that. Katrina. Oh, Harry, I love you, baby, when you coming back home. Come now. So, a breakup, is it really over? Like I say, no disclaimers. Sometimes when you break up, it's just a temporary thing, okay? You could be living your best life, just getting your 8 hours of sleep. Life is perfect. You single. You ain't got to worry about nobody but yourself. He might be stressed out, worried about you. And then on top of that, he might not even care, and then on top of that, you might not care, right? So y'all might get back together, it's possible. And then you might feel in your heart that you don't want to be with this person no more, and you might not get back together. Or he feel in his heart that he don't want to be with you anymore, and you don't get back together. Okay, so it's either he run back to you or you run back to him. Okay, it's all about power and control. And why I say it's about power and control, because if you constantly breaking up with a person and y'all keep getting back together, break up, back together, break up, back together, it's a power thing. Okay, but when you break up with that person, like I was saying before, you're the bad person. Okay, you're bad. You're the idiot. That's what men do. They'll point the finger at you're the idiot. You broke up with me, or I don't care, or they'll show you that they don't care. They'll tell you, oh, you don't mean nothing to me, and oh, I don't care, and laugh out loud, and he'll really show you that he don't care, right? But it's like I said in the beginning, it's just the ego thing. It's the ego thing, because his ego is broken that you broke up with him. He want to hurt your feelings. That's what men do. That's what some men do. They want to hurt the woman's feelings because their ego is shattered. Their ego is broke. It's like, wow, I cannot believe she broke up with me. I'm the one that's supposed to break up with her, but she broke up with me. How could she? I'm going to say the meanest thing to her to hurt her feelings and blah, blah, blah. And okay, so when he say this mean stuff to you, like he expected to get to you, to hurt you. And if you show him that it hurts you, oh, Roger, you said this mean stuff to me. You really hurt my feelings. You're going to boost his power and his ego is going to grow stronger from being broke. Okay. But if you give in and show a guy, oh, you hurt me, although I broke up with you, his power is going to build back up and he's going to be like, yeah, I got her back. I hurt her feelings because she hurt me for breaking up with me. Okay, that's why I say it's about power and control. And you might not be breaking up with him for power. You might be breaking up with him because, hey, that's what you need to do in the first place. Y'all just need to separate. You just need that separation, And so you break up with him and he makes you feel like, you're nothing. Right. But anywho, so like I said, sometimes breakups are temporary. Sometimes breakups are forever. So it just depends on if that person want to be back with you or if you want to be back with that person. So obviously, like I said, if he come crawling back to you, he want to be with you in some way. Or if you go crawling back to him, you must miss him, okay? And the worst thing about getting back together with someone is when insecurities develop. When I say insecurities develop, it's like, oh, I don't trust you because of how you acted, okay? Be cautious of that, okay? Maybe it's good you did break up, I guess, depending on the situation. But you would think like, okay, oh, if you feel that way, then why did you come back? Okay? So you leave that as an open question. Like, why did you come back? Okay? Because I know you go do what you've been doing. Okay? And so that's why I go off every time, because the way you act, until you change the way you act, then maybe we ain't gonna break up. Okay? And people forget that, so yeah. But anywho, yeah, so breakups can be temporary or they can just be y'all broken up. Okay? No disclaimers. I know the comment section is going to be disabled on this video. Okay? So just wanted to come on here and talk a little bit, give y'all a little bit of advice. I know I'm not the one that should be giving advice. Oh, I shouldn't be giving advice. But, I mean, if you love a person, just tell them you love them. You know what I mean? Even if they don't take you back, just say, hey, I love you. Do you love me? And they might say, no, I don't love you. I never cared about you because you broke up with me. Okay? And I know going through breakup is the hardest thing, because even if you broke up with the person, sometimes you can still feel pain in your heart. Sometimes you can still feel lonely. And it's natural to miss that other person after you done broke up with that person, so that is natural. But then at the same time, you got some people, when they break up with a person, they ain't caring about they ain't caring about what the other person is going through. They ain't even thinking about that person. They not even hurt that they left that person. I mean, so I'm guessing that type of person to feel that type of way, like they ain't had no feelings really for whoever they broke up with. But when you break up with somebody when you break up with somebody and you feel like lonely, you kind of miss them, you're being strong, you controlling your feelings, but it's not like, oh, I miss him, I'm not, life is, it's not the end of the world, right? So, it's natural to feel that way because at some point in time you really cared about that person. So that's why, although you broke up with that person because you knew that that was the right thing to do, to break up, because maybe the relationship wasn't going anywhere, so you broke up with them, right? But you kind of still miss them. You miss them because you did have feelings for them. So it's a natural thing, so don't feel bad. And no disclaimers again. And if you really didn't give a damn about that person, you ain't thinking about them, you ain't even wondering what they doing, are they okay? You just own with your life because you didn't have feelings for that person like that. So am I talking too much? Let me see how long this video. Ooh, I got 30 minutes in this video. I think I need to stop. So I'm gonna leave it there for y'all. I gotta get ready for bed. But yeah, so more videos are gonna come. Eventually later on in the future, I will open up the comment section and then y'all can give me y'all opinion and stuff like that. But until then, just watch my videos and I will see all of you later. Bye.